Test. Oh, is the mic on? Yep. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening or in the start of a wonderful week. Hope you guys had a wonderful long holiday weekend. I know I had a good time. And unfortunately, I don't have pictures to share. But I did have a bit of an adventure in which maybe I'll share a little bit about what I was doing. How is everyone tonight? Let's see. Let's do some quick shout outs here. So we got Kim Burris here. She's saying hello. And Donna Hoskins is here saying hey, hey, hey. Hey, Donna. Let's see. Guess who? Nancy says, hi, y'all. Sorry, the meds are kicking in, so I'm off to sleep. Praying for 6 hours at least. Would love more. Have a blessed night, y'all. Well, thanks for stopping by, Nancy. And please get better and get some rest. And she's reminding everybody before she left to thumbs up and thumbs up and like. So thank you, Nancy. We got Suzanne Taylor here, Molly Riswick. Hello, Molly. And let's see. Remo J. Hey, Remo. She's saying good evening to everybody. And please thumbs up and show your support and love. Thank you, Remo. We got Jackie here. Hello, Jackie. And let's see. Fingers crossed, no technical difficulties. Yeah, Donna. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Claudia Lautenschlager is here. Hello, Claudia. And Debbie Ott is here. Hi, Debbie. Diane Watson is saying happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you too, Diane. We got Katie Crafts here saying hello. And, oh, hello, Sean. That's the guy who sews. She's saying good day. Good day to you, too. Susan Yearout is here. Hello, Susan. Laura Sup. How you doing, girl? I love that name. All right. Sandy Adger is saying hello. Hello, Sandy. And let's see. Did I miss anybody? Laura Norton finally caught alive on my second one. Okay. Hello, Laura. Laurie. Sorry. Damali J. Hello, hello. How you doing, girl? She's on the East Coast, so I know it's late for her. All is well. I'm putting the binding on my niece's lap quilt. This is my first attempt. Wish me... Okay, fingers crossed, Damali. You can do it, girl. You can do it. I know you can. I would rather burp my quilt. But I had fabric to make. Oh, okay. Susan Yearout says, I have been hand quilting this afternoon. Wow. You have my utmost respect because that is just something I do not do. I don't even hand sew my binding. No. Hi, Chloe. That's Chloe Morgan. Wow. Okay. What is going on? Let me just say I had a long week. I was supposed to visit or was supposed to go to Las Vegas this past weekend, but that plan got diverted, so I ended up doing some extra things or something else, I should say, not extra. And well, I went to a national park here in California. You'll find out later which one. I've been there a number of times before, but I've never been to this one particular section of the park. And so I got to experience something different, something new at this park. It was about, well, according to the thermometer, it was kind of teetering when I was there. It's kind of teetering between 101 and 102 degrees. Sorry, I don't know what that is in Celsius. And that was on a cooler day, believe it or not. Usually around this time of the year, it's reaching to about the 110, 120. So you can probably guess where I was. um, Thanks for encouraging me, everyone. Okay, Damali, you can do it, girl. I know you can do it. You can do it. Believe you can do it. uh, and Laura Sup says, I love hand stitching. I'm working on 1-inch hexagons now. It may take me forever, but I'm determined to get it finished someday. Okay, Laura, you can do it. You can do it. Hey, Miss Tiffany. She's sewing, so not in chat. Just wanted to say hello. Hello. So surprisingly, this past weekend, usually on a long weekend like this here in Los Angeles, there's a lot of traffic going out of town. But surprisingly, there was hardly anybody out on the roads. Usually to get to this location, it would take me about 3 hours, and it's only maybe about, 120 miles away. So it would take me 3 hours in traffic, but I got there in under 2 hours, believe it or not. And I was like pleasantly, oh my gosh, in heaven. Because I was expecting to have a mad traffic. Yeah. Last time when I did go to Las Vegas, it took me almost 6 hours after work to get there. That's how bad traffic can be here. Okay, so okay, Jackie says it was 104 in Phoenix this afternoon. Ooh. Yeah. Oh gosh, I cannot imagine that living in that kind of temperature. Well, I'm gonna have to get used to it though. That's a hint for some news to come in the future. Susan Yearout says, sounds like Death Valley. Claudia also says Death Valley. Have you been to Scotty's Castle? Claudia, actually, Scotty's Castle has been closed off for a while. I think because there's a lot of damage to the area. And I know the road is not repaired yet since the storm or the hurricane that passed through last year. So there's parts of the park that are still not open, but for the most part, a lot of the major attractions are there. I missed out on Lake Manly because it's all dried up now. So, yeah. So, Susan and Claudia, you guys got it right. I was at Death Valley and kind of exploring the surrounding areas around there. Very interesting, geology around there. A lot of interesting rock formations. And again, it wasn't as hot as I would expect it to be, but still, it was hot. Lori, Lori Norton says, I'm working on hand piecing a postage stamp quilt, and I have quilt on my floor frame. I'm hand quilting. Okay. All right. Hello, Zarina. Oh, she's saying good night. Okay. Well, thanks for stopping by, Zarina. So, what are we doing tonight? Okay, so we are going to do this block here. This is block number 47. If you've been following along, I have actually been, whoops, camera went off for a second. Sorry about that. I've been working the Farmer's Wife sampler quilt. This is the 1920s version. Sorry. And so here is the block that I'm going to be doing tonight. Now, on a block like this, you could probably figure out how to piece it together without using the templates. But because these are very, very awkward shapes, I'm just going to, for a lot of these blocks or blocks like this with these kinds of awkward shapes, I just downloaded the templates from the website that's mentioned in the book and cut out the pieces or cut out each individual piece because I just figure it would be easier for me to try and use the templates here rather than trying to figure out how to piece this block like a normal quilt block. So this would also be great if you have a paper piece pattern, in which I know there is somebody that actually has a paper piece pattern for this. So yeah. Okay, so this is the block that I am making. It's called, well, initially when I read that, I thought it said Homewrecker. It says Homemaker, not Homewrecker. No, we don't have homewreckers here, right? Okay. Oh, Zarina meant to say hello. Okay, hello, Zarina. Hello, the confident quilter. That's Gladys. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I am going to lay out the pieces, or I'm going to just lay out this block, because this is precisely the kind of thing that I would totally get myself confused on. So that goes there. This can go here. And then we got that and that. And I got this triangle. I think it's this way. Then we got the center square there. Another triangle there. Another triangle here. Last triangle is here. I hope I got the right sides. This goes here with piece there. This piece goes like that. And then we got another piece here. So this will go like that. And I believe that goes there. No. We'll go like that, I think. Wait. No, something's wrong. Oh, wrong piece. Wait. That goes like that. That goes like that. And I believe this one goes there. Okay. Hey, Sheila D. The Molly J is asking, is that part of her friendship star? It looks very similar. It's not exactly a friendship star though. Friendship star, usually you have a half square triangle in which this dark brown or purplish color here is kind of like a 60-degree triangle instead, which is what makes it kind of unique. All right, I think I have the correct layout, I think. So let's just get to sewing. So let me start with this. So how was everybody's long Memorial Day weekend? Any barbecues to talk about? Oh, sewing machine's not on. Kim Burris is saying your colors are pretty. Oh, thank you, Kim. Let's sew this one. I hope I don't get myself confused. And I will go that route. Okay. So let's see. And then I can take this and put it on there. And I'm just going to line it up. Okay. So what was, well, besides Death Valley, I was actually exploring the surrounding areas. Because right outside of Death Valley, there is a Japanese World War II Japanese relocation center that is now a national monument or a national historical site. And I was there to actually do a little bit of research and explore the actual internment camp that was there. For those of you that don't know the history, during World War II, after the attack on Pearl Harbor, there were hundreds of thousands of Japanese Americans that were, well, they say it's a relocation center. Basically, they were kind of incarcerated into these like pop-up makeshift barracks. And one of the larger, I think it is the largest camp or relocation centers is actually right outside of Death Valley. So that was my primary reason for being out that way. Ooh, look at that. That's pretty. So, very interesting place. I mean, they kind of rebuilt some of the barracks that were there. Most of it after the war got taken down, but there's still some relics. And of course, they sort of rebuilt some of the barracks and some of the buildings. But I don't know, it just had a very, shall I say, morbid kind of feeling to know what happened there. What initially started, or okay, so here, let me give you the backstory. I was actually on a personal project, where I was just researching my family tree. And being that the state of Hawaii was not exactly a state back in 1945, it didn't get statehood until 1960, I think. But we're trying to trace back some family roots. And because of the fact that my grandparents did not pass down, or there's chunks of our family history that is missing in terms of like knowing our relatives, where they came from. And none of us grandchildren actually bothered to ask these kinds of questions about, our family tree. And being that, again, they were on the plantation, we just didn't gain the knowledge. So we're, one of my cousins I know, he started this project in terms of just researching the family tree. And I got kind of curious about it too. So I started doing my own research. And I wanted to find out if there were some relatives that we do know about that actually were put into some of these concentration camps. And so that's what led me to going and visiting this relocation center. Okay, how do I sew this part on? Am I supposed to put this like that? This does not look right. What did I do wrong? Did I sew the wrong pieces on? Wait. So this goes... Oh, I got the wrong pieces on. Darn it. Like that. Yeah, I think I got the pieces switched up. So... Okay. So shall you sew, so shall you rip, right? So here comes out Jack. And I knew I was going to do this. Darn it. Yeah. So anyway, visiting this, the place is called Manzanar. It is part of the national park system, and it's free to visit. Actually, there's no admission fee or anything, and there are other camp locations. I know there's one out in a town called Jerome, Arkansas, or there was a structure, same internment camp there. Mostly up and down the West Coast, since that's where most of the Japanese Americans at the time were living. Very, very, I don't know. It was, there was an exhibit that was there inside the visitor center, and one of the most impressive things about it was they had this monument, or sort of like a panel, an exhibit panel that had every single person that was at Manzanar, or that was incarcerated at Manzanar. And when you see it, you're literally just looking at a bunch of names. But then when you think about it, kind of hits you what went on there, and the impact, the social impact, that it was real. Real people were there and imprisoned. Okay. Is it supposed to go like that? I believe so. So this corner has to match up. Okay. Let's see if I get it right this time. I knew I was going to do that. Let's see. Yep, that looks a lot better. Okay. Nope, this one is wrong, so I got to rip this. Okay. So I am planning on, well, if you haven't figured it out yet, I am planning on putting some video together explaining this whole project that I was on. So, but it's probably not going to be done until maybe toward the end of the year, because there's just a lot of stuff that I got to get done in the meantime. So this one goes like that. Okay, wait, let's try this again. That goes like that. This goes like that. Okay. So this is another one I gotta rip. Oh boy. Now on a brighter note though, when in terms of visiting Death Valley, it wasn't as hot, and don't let the name fool you though, because if you've ever been to Death Valley, you kind of know that there are parts of it that are just absolutely beautiful. Of course, the name itself is kind of morbid, but if you have the right perspective on it, it's quite, shall I say, adventuresome, and it's quite interesting. A quite interesting place. Usually when I go during the winter when it's a lot cooler. Maybe I think the high would get to be about 96 or so. But I figure since I'm already in the area, let's experience Death Valley in the heat of summer. Now, it does usually get up, it does usually get up to about 120 during the summer. So that is the time where you just don't want to be there. Can't imagine it being that hot. And you don't even sweat. Like, as soon as your body just starts to sweat, it just evaporates anyway. So, okay. Let's see. Whoa. Okay, I missed a lot of comments, so let me scroll back for a second. Kim Burr says, my weekend was quiet, but I can chicken. Okay, never heard of anybody doing that. I didn't know you could can chicken. Zarina is asking, do you use a template to cut those pieces? Yes, on this particular block, Zarina, I did use a template to cut the pieces. The template is actually available online free of charge, and you can download it using, it's a quilt maker, or if you just Google Farmer's Wife quilt, you can find the templates. Actually, that's how I found the templates that go with this book. And again, they are free of charge, so you don't necessarily have to, well, you should buy the book, but you don't necessarily have to. Okay. Choo-doo-doo. Put that one there. Oops. This one goes there. All right. Let's get to sewing. I knew I was going to make this mistake. And I tried to prepare myself for this, and I still made the mistake. Okay, so that goes like there. That's how this one fits. So now this should be right. Okay, let me take this piece off to make sure I got it right before I start sewing other things to it. Now that looks better. Yeah. Okay. I hope I don't. Uh-oh. Am I going to get a Y seam? Uh-oh. I don't exactly do good with Y seams. How do I avoid it? Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have a couple Y seams. Okay, here we go. So I can then sew this piece on. Wait, if I sew this piece on, can I? No, it's a gentle curve, so it should be okay. Okay, let's try it. That doesn't look right there. That looks right. Yeah. Right. Then I believe this piece was in this corner. And this goes like that. Yeah. Okay. Now, this piece is supposed to go on like that. So I guess what I'm going to do is then go start from this corner or this spot here, sew down, come back, pull this the other way, and then we'll sew the other side of it. Or maybe I could just start like this. So this point is supposed to line up right there. Why did I choose this block? Darn it. Then I'm going to pivot and let's see. I can do this. I know I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. So I'm going to pull that over. And I got to move this top fabric. You know what? I'm just going to pull it out. And cut it off here. Cut this one off. Okay, now I can, oh, I stitched a little too far, that's why. So I'm gonna pull out these few stitches. Then I should be able to turn this like that. There we go. One quadrant done. Okay, let's see how we did. Got a little bit of a pucker, but I think I can iron that out. Oh boy, this is a hard block. I didn't realize I chose such a hard block. Let's see. Any suggestions on how to pack rulers for moving on a local move? Good question, because I actually, not really. That's a good question. What I usually do if I'm traveling and I need to, I'll put it in my suitcase and sort of layer or kind of put it in between my my clothes just to have some extra padding there. But yeah, I need to actually figure out how I'm gonna do it too, because hint hint, I'll be moving somewhere. Okay, yeah, that didn't press out, but I'm not going to care about the little pucker right there. No. Okay, so I could sew this one on. Maybe I shouldn't have sewn that triangle on there. Should have thought of that. Yeah, that was way easier not to have the block there. Or not to have the triangle there. Okay, let's sew these parts here. And let me catch up on the chat there. Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions about packing rulers while moving, I'm all ears on that too, because yeah, I need to pack some of my quilting rulers. Jackie says, rough day today. Would have been my partner's birthday. First one without him. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jackie. Debbie Ott is saying it rained in Delaware. Okay, and everybody's acknowledging Jackie's loss, but hopefully life gets better. And of course, yeah, it's hard when you lose the loved one. I traced, and Diane Watson says, I traced my tree back to 1839 Ireland when then was stumped because everyone's name was Margaret, Mary, John, Thomas. Okay. The problem, actually, interestingly enough, the problem that we have, wait, hold on. I don't want to sew this on wrong. The problem that I'm running into is the census data doesn't actually or doesn't consistently spell the name the same way. My last name is spelled O-D as in dog A, but in some of the census data, it's spelled O-T, like Tom A. And that is basically because, well, I hate to sound racial, but people didn't understand the Japanese pronunciations or Japanese spelling of certain names. So, yeah. On certain census reports that I'm looking at, my grandparents have a last name of O-T-A, and on other census reports, it's O-D-A, and that's actually the correct spelling. But it's really weird that, yeah, it's just weird. Just one of those weird things that, well, kind of tells you about history. Am I sewing this on right? I don't want to rip again. Wait. It's supposed to go like that. This goes like that. So this goes like that. Yeah, that was right. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay. Then I can sew on the triangle, which now, first of all, I'm going to sew it onto here. So this goes right there. I'm going to do this side first. And let me reverse back. There we go. And I will disconnect this. Gosh, when I was looking at this block, I had no idea it would be this technical of a block. It's doable, but I just thought, I was just going to sew the block like any other normal piece. Lo and behold, I was wrong. I usually am anyway. Yeah, okay. I do not like partial seams. Let's see how this came out. Oops, camera. Sorry. Oh, got another pucker. Darn it. Okay, let me do this one. This one is pretty bad, so I am going to rip this one. Yep, that's pretty bad. Yeah, partial seams is not my thing. I'll tell you that much. If I can avoid a Y seam, I will avoid a Y seam. That's partially why I don't do certain types of quilts. I started doing a Lone Star. Well, I consider it an accomplishment that I started that, but I have yet to finish it because I'm afraid of doing that Y seam. Of course I know I can just do 2 half square triangles instead of doing a Y seam, but on this block, I don't see how I can avoid it. Oh boy. Okay, let me get that stitch out. There, the pucker is now released. So let me line this up again. I think I have to press that this way. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be much better. And then I can now I should be able to sew it much more flat. And I totally sewed that crooked, but let's see how it turns out. A little better. Okay. Now I know I can press that out. Okay. Yeah, that's not going to bother me too much. Or maybe this might be a block I will just toss out. Hey, Jim. How are you, Jim? Glad you made it here tonight. Well, well, well. It's Miss Jo Carmel. How are you doing, girl? Glad to see you tonight. Of course, everybody has to come in on the night where I have this very difficult block to do. Again, I wasn't, what was I thinking trying to do this block? Because I didn't see that there's a Y seam here, or there's a partial seam. Then I will sew these 2 pieces on. Okay, we forgot to do our question of the video, so let me sew this one last piece on. And exclamation question. Okay. Yes, Chloe, it is very easy to get confused by this block because, well, there's so many mirror images of pieces. Susan, oh wait, I just lost it. Oh, let's see. Susan, I see Susan's name. Susan You're Out says, we watched the old TV show Death Valley Days when I was a kid. Oh, never heard of that show. Okay, what's your favorite national park thus far? Ooh, good question, Joe. Good question. I mean, I haven't been to many national parks. I think I will say Death Valley is one of my favorites because there's so many things that you can do there. A lot of these national parks, a lot of them are just overcrowded, so you really can't enjoy the park because you're dealing with humongous crowds like Zion. Right now, during certain times of the year, Zion gets so overcrowded that they have to shut the park down. Same thing with Arches National Park. There's times where you can't even get into the park because it's just so overcrowded. So the thing about Death Valley is that it's huge. So even if you have like 1,000 people at the park, it doesn't feel like there's 1,000 people because you're spread out over 100 miles. The only thing I don't like about Death Valley, well, number one, the heat. And number two, to get from one spot to the next, I mean, you're literally driving at least 20 or 30 miles. So, yeah. To get to the different points of interest, I mean, you literally are driving for about an hour or two. So, that's the only thing. But it's just so vast. But it's really vast and really diverse, too. So, I guess Death Valley would be my favorite for now. Kim versus she's talking to Jackie. Susan Yearout says one of the dark times of our nation's history. She's referring to World War II. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat, making sure that I'm not missing anything. Diane Watts says, stop a quarter-inch from each Y seam point makes the turn easier. Yep. That's what I'm trying to do, but it's a little difficult because the point is actually on a 60-degree angle, not on a 90-degree angle, which is what I'm used to, but it's doable. You just have to kind of know. Wait, it goes like that. So, yeah, it is doable. Of course, there's all sorts of different techniques about doing Y seams. Okay, so question of the video. Because I got an email from a longtime subscriber saying, hey, what happened to your elixirs? So here's the return of that. Thank you, Miss. You know who you are. So this is just tea that I'm drinking. When I first started the channel, for those of you who don't know the story, I used to have this quilting juice that I called my magical elixir. It was just basically cranberry juice. And still to this day, people don't believe me when I say that. But yeah, it was kind of the running thing in every video. If I made a mistake, it's because I didn't take a sip of my quilting potion or my quilting elixir. So, but it begs me to ask the question, what are your favorite snacks or your favorite drinks while you quilt? Because I know a lot of us love to eat and sew. Let's see. Jackie says, I decided to sell Dad's house. Too many memories. Yeah, we sold the house that I grew up in got sold too. Yeah, it's just sad. It was hard. Well, I shouldn't say it was hard because I wasn't living there anymore. But just the memories. The thing is, though, you still have those memories. It's just hard to let go. So I get it. Debbie Ott says, Eric, have you ever thought about doing an auction? I would if I could get help with just kind of running it. Um, because I'm actually running the live on my own, it's a little bit difficult. I mean, I struggle with just sewing and keeping up with the chat. And so I figure running an auction would be even a bit of a challenge because, again, I'm just running everything on my own. But I did think about it. But I also don't make quilts as fast as some other people. And she might be listening still. So I do know that like Tiffany, for example, she has a stash of quilts that she sells them. And then when they don't sell, that's when she auctions them off. Did I actually get that? Oh boy. Why did I choose this block? Oh, okay, that one actually came out. Now the hard part of attaching this. You know, the block is very pretty. It's just not too easy to sew. This will be a good challenge, though, for beginning, for anyone that would like to learn how to do like a partial seam or somewhat of a Y seam. Oh no, maybe I'll keep this one, maybe I won't. I mean, I got a little bit of a pucker. Okay, what would also help too, though, is I'm not exactly pressing my seam allowances in any direction. I'm just kind of finger pressing it, and I think pressing them in a certain direction will help. And just paying attention to that. Okay, am I getting, yep, the needle's in the right spot. Let me back up a little bit. Okay, now I can let her rip. And I will sew off on this one little piece or scrap piece here. Then I can spend the rest of my time chatting and catching up with the chat. So yeah, I think on this block, unfortunately, let's see, note. Oh, there is a note here. Assemble the 4 corner units as shown. In the upper left, join the purple triangles to the center square as shown by the blue lines. Join the sides of the corner units as, okay, that didn't help. But, okay, it's not too bad. There's a little, well, there's one pucker there. Because I didn't sew. But I think, I don't know. Is this a keeper or is this a goner? What do you guys think? Kim Burris says, favorite drink while quilting is either tea or coffee, hot or iced. Ooh, that sounds good. Donna Hoskins says, coffee but no finger foods while quilting. It makes myself take I make myself take breaks. Okay. You know, I used to eat, there was once when early on when I first started quilting, I made the mistake of eating a bag of Cheetos and quilting. Not a good thing to do because there was evidence on my fingertips and I kept getting it on the fabric. So, oh, Kate Brown has a suggestion about, I'm assuming she's talking about packing up your quilting rulers. She says, wrap it in towels. I suppose you could wrap it in towels or you could wrap it in your clothes too, if you're going to put it in a suitcase, which is what I usually do. So thank you for that suggestion, Kate. Susan Yearout says pretzels are her favorite, not greasy. Water is favorite drink if it's afternoon, morning. Oh, morning time she'll drink black coffee. Same here, Susan, same here. Are you going to do clues like Ian did? That's Donna Hoskins. Not quite yet. Because I actually have to find the destination first. Diane Watson says, bundle your rulers with plastic wrap or bubble wrap. That's a good suggestion as well. Jackie says her favorite drink is hot tea or iced tea. Mix of kiwi, watermelon, and southern sweet cold brew. Ooh, kiwi and watermelon. Oh, two fruits that I can't have. And Joe Carmel says Alban's gummy bears and water because I'm clumsy and usually spill. Okay. Susan Taylor says use cardboard to pack your rulers. Okay, that's something I also did too. Somehow when I did that though, the ruler kind of still warped and bent out of shape. So maybe I just packed it wrong. I don't know. Jim Bennett says iced tea or lemonade and nothing beats a gummy. Oh, a lot of gummy bear lovers here, I guess. Kim Burr says wrap rulers and towels or a few layers of newspaper put in a box by themselves. Okay. Hello, Miss Vera. Glad to see you made it here tonight. Name spelling in census depends on what the census takers hear. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I guess Ota and Oda kind of sound a little, kind of sound very similar. So I guess you can't really blame them. And well, for the most part, because these were Japanese immigrants, a lot of them just didn't even speak English. So how would they, how would they know how to spell their name in English? So Susan Yearout says I tripped this afternoon at work when I went to talk to the kids who pulling branches off the trees. I'm a little sore. Ooh. Take care of yourself, Susan. Ice pack. Ice it down. Hope it's not swelling. Oops, sorry. The chat just jumped on me. So Damali J says my favorite drink is half a bottle water. Water helps me sip, melt, then get up and fill the bottle. Okay. Have you been to the East Coast National Parks? I've been to the only park I've been on the East Coast would be the Everglades. And yeah, actually I've been there multiple times. Every time I always get scared of some alligator jumping on the boat. Claudia says, I do not snack while quilting. I only drink iced tea. Okay. A lot of iced tea drinkers, too. I'm surprised nobody says soda. In fact, I kind of want to go back to the Everglades. It's always fun to see those alligators around. Well, more so because I want to ride one of those airboat things and just kind of cut through the lake. Include all the blocks. Okay, Jim. Chloe Morgan says, I don't eat while sewing either. I usually drink coffee, water, or diet soda. Okay. Joe Carmel says, wow, Death Valley really surprises me, especially with the heat. You know, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that I like the place so much. But there's a lot that you can do. There's a lot to explore around there. I mean, I haven't even gone into one of the mines yet. And there are a ton of mines around in there, abandoned mines. So Death Valley has is a very interesting history. Looks like we're okay till Thursday morning. Okay, not sure who Lori's talking to, but um, let's see. Hi, Joy T. Diane Watson says the block looks fabulous, more complicating than it looks. Yeah, I'll give you that one. I don't know why I didn't catch the fact that there's a partial seam right there. Okay. Susan, you're out says, I'm loving the block, Eric. The colors are wonderful. Well, thank you. Suzanne Taylor says, coffee for her. Okay. Jackie says, I try not to snack while quilting. And Diane Watson says, current snack of choice, pretzel sticks dipped in Nutella with decaf coffee. Ooh. What did they used to call it? Yoo-hoo sticks or something? Where you take the stick and you dip it in chocolate? I remember that snack. Patricia Priest says early morning quilting is coffee, afternoon and night is water. Okay. Oh, Jim Bennett says we moved a lot, so no real family home. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Jim. And Debbie Ott is saying, I love the Christmas ornaments you made. Oh, thank you, Debbie. I have to actually make some more because, well, I'm trying to just use up some crafting supplies. So that's reminding me of that. The Molly J says, oops, frozen bottle with water. Okay. It helps me take a break as for eating, no. Take a break, walk away and eat. Okay. That's a good excuse to get up. Susan, you're out says, one of my first quilts didn't know it was supposed to be hard. It was a Lemoyne Star. Tons of Y seams. So sometimes what you don't know is probably better. And Jackie says it is too easy to overindulge if I snack while quilting. Okay, so Claudia says it's a keeper. Kimber says keep it. Zorino says keep it. Suzanne Taylor says that's an awesome block. Keep it. Chloe Morgan says keep it. Jackie says keep. Sheila D says keeper. Joe Carmel says keeper. Joy T says keep. Jim Bennett says use it. Susan You're Out says keep it. Joe Carmel says keep block. Okay. Debbie Huey. Hey, Debbie. She says it's a keeper. Debbie Ott says it's a keeper. And Jim Bennett says pack rulers with cutting boards or backing sheets. Ooh, cutting boards. That's stiff enough to hold it flat. So, Good night, Remo. Jackie says, Eric, loved the Everglades. Florida was home for a long time. Oh, so were you in Fort Lauderdale or Miami or somewhere in between? And then Kate Brown says, pack rulers with yardage or batting. That's a good idea. Never thought of that. Well, of course, I mean, people said, you could pack it in towel. Why not pack it in your yardage? And Donna Hoskins is saying, today on the local news, they were talking about a story from California. Alligator escaped from the petting zoo. Ooh. Okay. I didn't hear about that one. Okay. So I guess people overwhelmingly say to keep it. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I like how that one came out good. There's a little, the other three kind of got little puckers, but you know what? I think I can quilt it out when it comes to the quilting. So I'm going to press these seams a little better though. Okay, now that looks a little better. All right, we are done with this block. Thank goodness. That'll remind me to look for some of these partial seams and Y seams again. So here it is. This is the I was about to say home wrecker. Homemaker block. Yeah, good block to practice partial seams, I guess, if you're a beginning quilter. Partial seams and Y seams are not my thing, but let's add this to collection. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks. Okay, only 45 more to go. I think. How many blocks are in the thrill size? Well, I'll have to look at it later. All right, guys. So that is the live for tonight. Stay on for about another 30 seconds or so, just to make sure that I didn't miss any questions. If I didn't answer your question, please type it back in the chat. It's a pretty block. Did you really think any of us would say to toss it? I actually did, Kim. Well, maybe if you saw it in person, you might think twice. Let's see. What block am I gonna do? You know what? I'm gonna actually do this. Okay, stay tuned later on this week, because if I'm gonna I'll do a post on YouTube, and maybe I'll do it on Facebook too, but I'll give you 2 blocks that I'm thinking about doing, and you can vote for which one you want to see done. And that's the block we'll do for the next live. So I'm thinking either doing maybe the railroad, something like that, or what was the other one that I was looking at? And we'll put it to a vote to see whichever one gets the most vote, that'll win. No, it wasn't that one. It was another block that had some really weird things going on. Well, anyway, I'll find it. Oh, here it is. Shooting star. Wait, let me double check. There's no Y seams. No. This one. Okay, so I'll put a poll out onto YouTube to say, do we do this block or do we do another block? And you guys will help me determine which block to do for the next live. So, all right. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. And let's see, I may or may not go on live on Saturday. So make sure that you got the alarm bell checked off and that you are subscribed to the channel. Okay. As of now, I am planning on doing a live on Saturday night after tea quilts. So it'll be probably about 8:30 Pacific time, which I know might be really late for some of you. But nothing's really set in stone right now, so don't quote me on it. But make sure you do have your notifications turned on. Right. So with that, I will say good night to you all. Hope you have a great rest of the week. And you all know what I'm going to say, so let's all say it together. Let's all go out there and let's create something. Mwah. Bye for now.